Welcome back. You may not have noticed people around work or town wearing gold this month. You may also have missed the many signs that have popped up in front yards or maybe on the sides of buildings with the faces of children. But I hope after hearing our next two guests tonight, we all take better notice. That is because September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And the reality is cancer is the leading cause of death by disease among our kids in the U.S. right now. Yet, it receives just a fraction, only 4% of federal funding for research on the national level. The good news, the outlook for kids diagnosed with cancer today is continuing to improve, and so is awareness. Some of the top business tycoons in America are taking notice, including Elon Musk. He spearheaded a $200 million donation to the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital with his most recent SpaceX flight, Inspiration 4. And on board, a familiar face to many in the pediatric cancer world, Haley Arsenault, a childhood cancer survivor who is now helping with critical medical research. And while that will help, it is not enough. In a moment, I'm going to be talking to the father of Maddie Kramer, a beautiful little girl taken too soon by a disease that still has no cure. But first, I want to share part of a conversation I had today with the doctor working on the front lines of this fight, a pediatric neuro-oncologist at Seattle Children's Research Institute. And I asked him about the current treatments available for kids battling cancer and the short and long-term health effects those treatments have on their growing bodies.
Unfortunately, for almost all pediatric cancers, the initial therapy is some type of surgery. Pretty commonly, you have radiation afterwards, and then you get cytotoxic, old-fashioned chemotherapy that does a lot of damage to the body. So children have loss of their normal growth, loss of their natural sexual development, aren't able to have children, sometimes have lifelong headaches, lifelong nausea, risk for secondary cancers. And these are effects that they have during their treatment, but then continue for the rest of their life. And so by the time they're adults, most pediatric cancer survivors have multiple chronic illnesses.
Which is heartbreaking that they have survived this and then they're left with that. I know you're focusing in your lab on safer cures right now. Tell us about the work you're doing and how some of that is being put into practice.
Sure. So one of our goals at Seattle Children's Hospital is for children to no longer need radiation and old-fashioned chemotherapy. And we're not there yet today, but we're hoping to be there soon. Specifically in my lab, we look at immunotherapy and targeted genetic therapies that we can give to children that are really specific and personalized for their tumor. And hopefully one day by doing this, we'll avoid all the more toxic therapies. So children will be able to come into our clinic like they get their CAR T cells. And even though we deliver these CAR T cells, this immunotherapy directly into the brain to young children in our clinic, they're able to receive the therapy, go home later that night, and not have to spend any nights in the hospital.
Incredible work. It is estimated 1 in 285 children in the U.S. will be diagnosed with cancer by the time they turn 20 years old. Do we have any sense or idea why some kids get cancer and others don't?
Yeah, the more genetic sequencing that we're doing of tumors, the more we're realizing that some children do carry a cancer predisposition syndrome. Sometimes it's something that's inherited, but sometimes it's just a mistake that's happened throughout the genetics of their body that predisposes them to a tumor. As far as we know, that's still the minority of overall cases. Most cases seem to be just one cell makes an abnormal decision, develops a mutation, and starts to grow out of control in essentially a random event. But there are some children who do carry a predisposition, and we're learning more about those children and how to better counsel them and also how to give them better, safer treatments, because often when you have those predisposition syndromes, the toxic therapy is even more toxic to you.
And I know in your line of work, you often see kids at their sickest. As a pediatric neuro-oncologist, what motivates you to continue to do this difficult yet critical and important work?
A few times a year, all of us in our practice have to meet a family that has a new brain tumor. And while we're telling them that their child has a brain tumor and watching how emotional this is for them to hear, we know that in the next couple sentences, we're going to get to the point that not only do they have a new tumor, it's one of the types of tumors that we don't have a cure for. And it's just impossible to watch families go through that. And this day and age where we have so many amazing technologies, where we're sending rockets to outer space, we really owe these kids more. There shouldn't be situations where we meet a family, tell them their child has cancer, and have to also tell them that there's not even a chance of a cure.
Are you optimistic that in our lifetimes we'll have a cure?
I am. I think that we have a better understanding of how different multiple cancers are, and I think we're going to get better at treating all of them. And my hope is that in the next few years, we're going to really make some huge breakthroughs for children with cancer.
Boy, I hope he's right. I know he's working hard to be right. Pediatric cancer has affected many families, including the Kramers. Their daughter, Maddie, was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer just months before her 3rd birthday, and they lost her. And they are honoring her and remembering her in a special way. And here with me tonight is Scott Kramer, Maddie's father and also the founder of Dancing While Cancering. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Marnie.
I want to know about Maddie. What can you tell us about her?
Maddie was amazing. Amazing. You take one glimpse at her. She was every little bit of a toddler girl, like full of Disney, full of princesses, full of dancing, to the point where you spent 5 seconds with Maddie and you could not help but laugh and smile. She was incredible.
Just a big, beautiful smile. Heartbreaking, her story. What type of cancer did Maddie have?
Maddie actually had, to the doctor's point, Maddie had a brain tumor. The specific tumor Maddie had was called ATRT. It's a cancer that affects just 30 to 50 kids per year in the United States. Maddie's actually appeared in her spinal cord, which makes up 1% to 2% of that 30 to 50. So in every which way, Maddie was a 1 in a million child.
How did you first discover that she was sick?
Unfortunate, like a lot of families that experience this journey, it was through an emergency. We showed up at the emergency room at Lurie Children's in Chicago, truly thinking that Maddie just had a cold. She had some pain in her neck, some cold symptoms. And that evening, I put her on the scale at triage, and her legs literally went out from under her. And matter of minutes, grew paralyzed down the left side of her body, and sometime around midnight, after a long ER stay, she was intubated for what would be a 6-hour surgery to try to remove this mass from the inside of her 2.5-year-old spinal cord.
Oh, wow, Scott. You know, as heartbreaking as it is to hear you recount that moment for Maddie, the treatment then, as you heard the doctor say, can be even more cumbersome for these little bodies to take. What was your experience in Maddie's treatment in those final months?
We were actually told to expect hell on earth in treatment. Maddie was on a 52-week chemotherapy protocol, one that sapped her immune system every time she went through it. And truly one of the blessings that we will count for the rest of our lives is, despite the hellish prediction, this beautiful little 2.5-year-old princess-filled girl took hell and made it beautiful. We would deck out Maddie's hospital room every time we entered, and she made that hospital floor her dance floor. She had her characters sprinkled throughout, always music playing, and you couldn't feel down looking at Maddie. She was amazing.
And her light still shines. Scott, I have a little less than a minute left. I know you and your wife founded this great organization, Dancing While Cancering. Briefly show us what you're doing for other kids going through this.
So after Maddie passed, we wanted to make sure that we could ensure that her life was remembered and inspiration and in a way that was so her. So Dancing While Cancering brings joy to kids inside the hospital. And this is our Smile Pack. It's for newly diagnosed pediatric cancer patients. So when they have to have those first conversations with their doctor and hear that their child has cancer, they get this bright light to remind them that that room can still be theirs and that their child can still experience the joy and love and light that Maddie got to experience inside. It's all stuff to brighten that room. It's musical speakers, we got instruments, we've got room decorations.
Oh, good.
And truly it's that reminder that while we don't control the music that life plays for us, we really do control the way we dance to it. And that was so Maddie, and it is so Dancing While Cancering.
Well, Dancing While Cancering, Maddie's legacy lives on. Scott, I can't thank you enough for being here tonight and sharing her story with us, and an important message as we raise awareness for pediatric cancer here in Chicago and across the country. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.